Ladies and gentlemen, it is really a very big pleasure and big honor to be with you during those days and to have such a nice possibility to listen to such a prominent experts from around the world and to present our vision and our understanding of quality pedagogy. And on the first slide, you see the title of our presentation, which will be done of both of us, me and Sanja from Bosnia. And you see ISSA name on it, and for those in audience who don't know, I just want to remind that ISSA is an international step-by-step association which is active in the region of Eastern and Central Europe and Central Asia. And our activities started in 1994, so very soon we will celebrate 20th anniversary of our activities. And all the time in our network we were speaking about the quality of education from the very beginning. And tomorrow morning, Deepa said that, yes, everyone is speaking about quality, but we need to know how to measure that quality. And I hope that in our presentation, which will be done with Sanja, we will introduce some tools which we think really can be useful for that purposes. Why we decided to develop the ISSA principles of quality pedagogy? Everyone knows that educators make a difference. But what makes a difference in educators? How to measure quality of pedagogical practice? The quality of services and learning environments for young children is a burning issue for a growing number of countries, and of course for all countries in our region. Just access is no longer considered sufficient if it is not accompanied by quality, supported by motivated and competent individuals, as well as adequate systems and frameworks. At the core of ISSA's activities are following beliefs. Believe that all children need stimulating quality early childhood development experiences that honor their unique characteristics and provide love, warmth, and strong foundations for positive and successful learning experience throughout the whole life. High quality of care and education is a prerequisite for sustainable results and success for an individual child and the whole society, and can be achieved through ongoing support to professionals and raising awareness of all society about the importance of the early years. And listening yesterday to the presentations, we really were discussing that all the key messages we gained yesterday, they are included in our principles. More reasons for the developing of our tools. It is really important on the national level and on the international level to build shared understanding of the meaning of high quality practice. We know that in ISSA region, how we say, it means in Eastern and Central Europe countries and Central Asia, there are different tools for measuring quality, but it is very important to have really the same understanding. What does it mean? And we're going to build independence in educators to give them such understanding that they are real professionals, and at the same time, interdependence among educators, because it is very important in this stage to build learning communities who have the same understanding of the quality. And introducing this tool, we really want to provide a framework for dialogue on quality education with children, with parents, with decision makers, professionals, and the wider society. And as well, you know, for example, I am coming from Lithuania, and very often speaking with teachers, we say that yes, we must think about the rights of the children, and we want to make possibility for all of them to grow in really supportive environment. But at the same time, don't forget about the teachers. They also need that supportive environment. And all of us, we know that those days now there are big changes in image of child, image of educator, image of parents, and the meaning of education. The first issue of our tool, how to measure the quality of pedagogical practice, was ISSA pedagogical standards, which were developed with support of Open Society Institute by a group of professionals from ISSA, region, with input from key experts from around the world. The first standards, they were introduced and used in the region since 2001, but as I mentioned before, there are a lot of reasons why we needed to revise those standards and why we decided even to change the title. And now it is ISSA Principles for Quality Pedagogy. And we hope that they reflect latest research findings about quality pedagogy, aligned with international trends and policy documents, used for building learning communities, and they offer instruments to improve quality of child's well-being and learning, especially for those from vulnerable groups. When we started that work of revision, when the group of quality experts came together, we decided to look around, of course, and to revise what is accomplished till now in the world. And for our work, inspiration we received from the following documents, which you can see on the screen, because we built on our previous resources and experiences. We attended a lot of meetings with researchers, with practitioners and experts in this field. And so how we developed this resource pack. There you can see core group of quality experts and many, many prominent names who helped us, who shared with us their research findings and their experiences. So, what is Quality Resource Pack, which ISSA want to share with you? First of all, it is ISSA's definition of quality, competent educators of 21st century, principles of quality pedagogy. It is a guidebook for educators, putting knowledge into practice. There are 2 professional tools for improving quality of practices, one for preschool teachers and one for primary school. It is online video library on quality pedagogy. It is instrument for assessing quality practices in early childhood education services, and an online course for preschool teachers. And now I would like to give the floor to Sanja, who will tell you more about each of the items.
Hvala, Regina.
Thank you, Regina. Please switch the channel on your headphones and equipment because I'm talking in my mother tongue. Before we unpack this set or package presented by Regina, I wish to use the opportunity to welcome you all on behalf of the Center Step by Step of Bosnia and Herzegovina to express our gratitude to UNICEF for providing us the opportunity to exchange ideas, experiences, and improve quality of early childhood education for every child in Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's the mission of the organization that I come from, and that for 15 years now we have, together with all our local and international partners.
Teško je biti optimista u Bosni i Hercegovini danas, ali
It's very difficult to be an educator in Bosnia and Herzegovina today, but if there is no optimism, there is hope, for sure. Optimism and hope are not the same thing. I will use the words of Václav Havel, who said once that these 2 things are not one and the same. Optimism is just an idea that something will end it well, but hope is expectation that things will end well, always. Thanks to our presenters and you, I had the opportunity yesterday to discuss with you. In this hotel yesterday, a glass of water was very expensive and it was a luxury, so to say, but I was given a whole mug of hope from you. From that mug of hope, Mrs. Pia Revelo Brito, she spilled a drop from this mug yesterday, and this drop, her words actually were saying that the quality is the essential ingredient that makes the difference, and we must never spill this drop in vain. I opened my dictionary yesterday. I looked up for the word quality. And although I've been in this field for 15 years in the Step by Step Association, in spite of that, I looked up for the word and saw that it also included capacity or ability, whatever that means. I think that ISSA package, quality package, could not be framed into one line, but it's a very good question to ask what kind of quality or excellence we expect to see, or we expect for a child to have as an experience in his or her early childhood. And the other term, competencies, abilities. What are the competencies or abilities of the educators or teachers in the 21st century that we expect? And not only that we expect, but that we build do we build those competencies in teachers' faculties, or do we build them during their in-service practice, or how do we improve their quality, and how do we revise it or assess in accordance with comprehensive researches? Because quality is not a permanent category, it's a process, and in spite of the fact that ISSA is including some 30 countries and the principles are very well known around the world, this does not mean that this is a McDonald's that provides the same quality all over the world, in all countries, and the same ingredients as McDonald's is boasting about. Quality in education must be put into a context, and we must provide professionals with an opportunity to be autonomous and to be guided by unique principles that did not come just out of blue. They are very well defined and specified, and they must be a guiding principle for us as autonomous professionals and responsible persons in this field. So, our definition of quality, you can see it here in a form of a poster. You were able to see it in the hall, and it includes 7 different areas of work for all teachers. So, all the experts of ISSA, together with our associates, we said that these are very important areas of work for all educators. The fact is that we can find many similar documents. They've been out there for many years and they will be developed in the future, but the experiences of ISSA network tell us that these 20 principles, 85 indicators have a specific value per se. Through these discussions, we defined these 7 areas, and they cover the whole scope of work of these educators. We talk about interaction as a very important field, family, inclusion, strategy of learning, monitoring of assessment and planning, and learning environment. So our small brochure, I can show it to you. Please give me some time. I've hidden it somewhere, but it's included in our package that we are talking about. And the brochure that you can have in English and in all 3 languages. You can find all 7 areas of work, and in a specific structure. Every area, like interactions, for example, have a description on why they are important, what is the quality that is expected from teachers in this area of work, and how educators in this area can contribute to benefits for every child. Every area includes definitions of 3 or 4 principles. Principles are usually these huge ideas that we all agree upon easily, but we don't know how to implement them in practice. But we all say they are valuable and important, but the idea on how this is reflected in practice can be found in indicators. Indicators follow all these principles. In a way, these indicators should describe the practice that can be observed, shown, or proven in a kindergarten center, classroom, or any other facility. After the principles, and I've mentioned indicators, but what you will not find are examples, because all these indicators include examples of practice that we came upon in our discussion with practitioners, theoreticians, and all of them told us how they meet all these and apply all these principles and requirements. You will find the principles. If you were lucky, you could find them in this brochure. We are not distributing it, but this manual, together with the training modules and other materials, we are offering this brochure to all our partners. And as I said, we were lucky to print a number of copies. So here you can find examples, not all of them, but a large portion of them. And as you can see it in the screen, we call it a guidebook, putting knowledge into practice, or manual for professional development of educators. Saying by the word educators, we mean all people working with children in preschool education and early childhood education. The structure of this guidebook is very simple. You can find many explanations here, theoretical standpoints regarding the principles that the group of experts agreed upon. You will also find some researches that have arguments on various activities. So from general to some concrete levels, this guidebook is actually a link between theory and practice, and we've always wanted to achieve this in our practice, that our practitioners know what is the basis for their decisions, and to enable their students to recognize practical reflections, repercussions of what they have been taught at the university. So I recommend this manual as a very beneficial material for students. In the structure of this manual, you can see that there are certain recommendations included, recommendations for educators and teachers how to get included into good practice, and convinced that this road does not have an end. And if we want our children to develop their competencies and skills throughout their lives, we also expect the same from our educators. So those who are convinced that are implementing their teaching practice in a quality manner, they still can see that they face certain challenges that we provided them with. And we believe that many educators will be happy to face these challenges. Each of these areas of work is based on a large number of international documents and materials that served as the basis for development of this manual. I do not have it here in a printed form, but the next document is entitled Professional Development Tool. Our colleagues from Croatia translated it as Steps Towards a Quality Practice. This is a wonderful tool for educators and teachers for their self-assessment, self-evaluation. It's a developmental dimension through 4 levels that we pass through sometimes, and we are not aware of which level we are at and how to face the challenges ahead of us. I know that the letters and the font is very small, but you can see that in white column it reads that this is not an adequate practice, it's not aligned with principles. Then you can find several principles showing that this is not a practice oriented towards the one who is learning, who is developing, etc., etc. The next column reads that this is a very good start, very good beginning. It is providing several examples just for illustration on what people are implementing or doing in their classrooms. We cannot call it quality, but just a good basis for developing quality. Under the column entitled Quality, you can find a whole series of examples, very diverse examples. This is not a checklist, but this is just an idea to see how the practice looks like in classrooms, in playrooms, when we are talking about quality. Moving forward, or the next step is the challenge ahead of us that that you have to face with, because this is a driving force for us. It's keeping us vital and alive. These tools of excellence are, according to our feedback, are quite demanding. Our answer is that this is our vision, and this is an ideal or a direction that we are aiming to. When we are going to reach it, it doesn't matter. What matters is that it's worth taking the effort, and there are several ways to achieve this, and we are trying to provide you with tools that can help you as professionals to take this road. We are not offering excellence without explaining how to reach excellence. Very often we provide examples of good practice, and we see in video clips from various classrooms, we see various things, and we are delighted. But then after that we say this is not applicable in our environment, or we say they are lucky, they have this and that, and we do not have this and that. We do not have barriers that we do have, etc., etc. We believe that in our classrooms we have excellent practitioners. I'm mixing these words, classrooms and playrooms, because we are using these terms in different environments, but you know what I'm talking about. And when we are emphasizing excellence, what we forget is that we ask, how did you achieve this? Because quality is not a coincidence, it's not an accident. This is a result of a serious effort, wise choices between alternatives and excellent guidance. So according to all these elements, professionals who achieved quality must warn others and teach them how to achieve this level of quality and excellence. Emphasizing what good practice is, we are showing to people a very fast ship on the sea and huge waves, and our educators are just in small boats. They are rowing, and they are asking themselves, how can I become this fast ship? But then the wave comes and covers them totally. But this is another story. In addition to all this, I want to give you examples of good quality practice and indicators of quality in many classrooms in this region that Regina mentioned. Our practitioners help parents to place the focus on what is important, because when one is taking a look at many things, then the quality can be lost easily. But the focus is the key word here. So we are trying with these video clips to use them as a tool for reflection and analysis, because regardless of whether we are talking about another person's experience or our own, the tool must contain something that can help us to reflect upon the experience, because the reflection is what enables us to learn. The experience by itself does not mean that we will progress. These video clips will encourage viewers to act, not only to discuss. Time's up. Half a minute, please. So we concentrated the whole story for the sake of quality measurement. The quality must be improved. This is our main objective. But if we want to measure quality, which is necessary, then we concentrated all these indicators into a shorter instrument or tool to see whether the program yields results or it is there just for the certificate on participation. So we developed an online course for kindergarten teachers. It includes 12 modules, all materials on this screen. You can see that they are in interaction. They build upon one another. When one wheel starts moving, all others start moving. I would ask the translators to translate this into our language, and then after that I will thank you.
Hvala Sanji. Hvala gospođi Regini.